it's a pain in the butt. You hit your ball in the trees and then you lip out the putt. But if you've got a little time, then come and spend it with us. 'Cause now you're listening to the Rough Cut.
Hello, and welcome down wherever you are to the one, the only, the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, which is now, I am pleased to say, 30 episodes deep. It is a shocking statistic. We didn't think we'd get this far. We thought we'd be taken off air, kill each other, or just generally give up by this point. But we've made it. So thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching, and make sure you follow us on your favorite podcast provider. I imagine that we're going to be on Threads very soon as well. So just keep an eye out for us on there. Why not? We are one man down today. Jacob is getting his molars done. So I am with Mick and with Kieran. Gentlemen, how are we? Have we had a fantastic weekend as we sit here on this beautifully warm Monday?
Yeah, very, very warm. Like muggy, though.
Muggy.
Like humid. Like very sweaty.
It's a bit close.
Thunder in the air.
It's a bit close. Yes, I had a wonderful weekend. I went to Market Harbour with Lauren, and we looked around wedding venues and then drank loads of beer and ate some cakes.
I thought you were getting married in Portugal.
Nope.
Oh. Well,
not anymore.
Okay, awkward conversation oncoming. Okay,
is that what the stag do is, Portugal?
No, I thought Pete was treating us to Dundonald for the stag do.
Stag do.
Why is it Pete's to do?
Well, and anyway, only get married in like 6 years.
Yeah.
Right. This is of all the things that we've got to get organised. That sounds like a next year problem.
We had a small, rectangle table, not a round table. We had a small table meeting before this where we went through all the things that are about to happen this week, and that was not mentioned. So I don't think we really need to worry about it too much. We've got a couple of years before we have to think about anything like that.
Yeah, I almost convinced myself the other week that and the lead up to the Open and then after the Open, we'd actually have a little bit more free time. And it is now becoming apparent that was wildly optimistic. Yeah. And the next 6 months might be the busiest in my entire life. We are heading into Christmas like an absolute train. Honestly, I honestly think that I'm going to look back on this moment in 6 months' time at Christmas Eve and just have absolutely no idea where the year has just disappeared to. Yeah. It's gone. It has gone. 2023, no idea what's happened.
Yeah. Do you feel like the first half of the year has gone quite quick?
Honestly, the first half of the year has disappeared.
Yeah. We have been to so many places as well.
We started in Dubai, and that feels like 2 years ago. I don't know. Do you remember Dubai?
Yeah.
In Ras Al Khaimah.
Half a lifetime ago.
Yeah, that does feel so weird.
It's so scary. But we have been doing this podcast since that point as well. So I mean, we've managed to get so much done this year. Most recent videos that were released on the main channel, they're ticking along very nicely. And we've just recorded a video. We've just come back again from traveling where we were in 3 different countries in the same day. So go figure that out. Yeah. How much do we want to?
Well, we can tell people that it was a very up and down day.
More up than down.
Yeah. That's not possible.
Lots of highs and lows.
It's not possible for it to be more up than down, is it?
Why?
Because you started back where you finished back where you started. So you have to have done the same amount of up and down.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. No, but we did start in a different country. And we ended in a different country.
Yeah. What? This is true. So
I think people kind of have guessed.
No, we can give the outline of it. So we did what we believe is a world first.
World record.
Yeah, world record. We did the Three Peaks Challenge. Now, Three Peaks Challenge, if you're from the UK, you'll know what it is. It's the highest mountains in Wales, England, and Scotland.
And what are they?
They are Snowdon.
Good.
They are Scafell Pike. And they are Big Ben Nevis.
Okay, good.
And I'm not climbed 2 of those actually, but you're doing them all in the same day. So that's the challenge. You've got to get to them all in the same day. We did the golfing equivalent. So the 3 highest courses in the UK in a single day. And boy, oh boy, was this a challenge. Yeah. It was probably the wildest video that we filmed, and it is going to be coming to the airwaves very soon. It's very good, very funny, and lots of drama.
Yeah, lots of drama, lots of like little stories within the one big picture, isn't it? Like
stories within stories.
Yeah, stories within stories.
Stories within stories.
Losing your phone and
it's like a babushka doll.
Getting attacked by sheep.
Getting attacked by Well, I took a photo. Shall I say that? I took a photo of a sheep, and I unfortunately, this was on Pete's phone, and I just left the phone there.
Honestly,
Good
Kieran,
Lord. If you've ever been around Kieran in real life for long enough, like you could start a timer when you first meet him and then stop it when he first goes, I can't find my phone.
I've lost it. I've lost it. I've lost something.
His problem is that because he does social media, he normally has his phone, the work phone, sometimes has your phone, sometimes has my phone, uses Jacob's phone. Like
and then a camera as well.
Yeah, he's always lost one of the. They fall down the side of his car. They're in his golf bag.
But this one,
nightmare.
This one I left at not the highest point, but not far off the highest point of the course.
The best way, obviously we don't want to give too much away, but I can give you an example of what it's like to work with Kieran. Kieran is like one of the hardest working people I know, an absolutely invaluable member of the team. Couldn't live without him. Every day is an absolute treat. He always surprises me with the amount of work that he can get done and the new ideas that he comes out with. It really is special. However, you are guaranteed on a daily basis that there is an issue coming. Like you don't know where it's going to come from. You don't know what it's going to be, but it's there.
There's something
it's lurking in the background like a shadow, just ready to come across the sun and just blot out the day.
I say the same. What's the thing that I say to you on a daily basis? God. I ask Kieran the same question every single day.
I hate it when you say it as well. I don't know to
I'm
say
like, Kieran, how are you not dead? Like, how are you still alive?
Honestly, it's fantastic. Yes, but fortunately today so far nothing has gone wrong, so if you are listening, maybe something will occur.
Still time.
Yeah, exactly. And it has been a busy few weeks. So I mean, last week we had open qualifying.
Oh yeah.
Which was interesting actually, because it was, if you've not watched last week's podcast episode, we spoke about how kind of open qualifying now has started to become a little bit impossible for your kind of everyday pro. Like that dream of getting to the Open seems to be diminishing a little bit year by year, simply because of the split in the tours. And now we've got a lot of players playing the LIV Tour and a lot of very good European Tour players like not having world rankings. So final qualifying, like the fields are just absolutely stacked.
Yeah.
And considering there's only 3-4 places available at each venue, it's so hard.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like you could have gone to one of those events in previous years and, had a kind of reasonable chance of having a really good few rounds in a row and getting in.
Yeah.
But now, even if you have a few really good rounds in a row, you're up against people who have like won majors.
Literally majors.
And, hold final putts in Ryder Cups to win. And, like it is absolutely nuts. You were talking about, imagine getting paired with Sergio.
Yeah. Sergio West Lancs, and he didn't get through.
No, he didn't. Yeah,
Sergio did not get through.
Shot.
It's crazy because at the same time, it's a slightly, what's the best way of putting it? It's counterintuitive because you want there to be a chance for your everyday pro to get through, but at the same time, they're getting through to a major champion. They're a championship. They're literally going to be playing against the best players.
Yeah.
So if they can't get through qualifying, technically they probably don't deserve to be in the Open. You can look at it like that.
Yeah.
But also you can look at it like this is the Open. The whole idea of the Open is that anybody can get there. If you have good rounds, if you are that underdog story, you can get through. But it feels like the underdogs have been put in the kennels for a bit. So
nice.
It was lovely to see some of the like the crowds that were there though. Like I saw some photos of like West Lancs and Dundonald that was just like, it was like a tour event, wasn't it? And they were just on the course, like surrounding him. It must have been quite a immersive, it's an immersive experience.
It was quite old school, wasn't it? And it did look good. So there's always positives and negatives to everything. So it was good to see a few friends of the channel get through. I'm very much looking forward to getting to Royal Liverpool as well. That is only a week away.
Every time I look at the calendar, I'm like, it can't be that soon.
Yes.
There's no way that it's happening in, last week. Oh, it's in, the Open is in 2 weeks. And then this week you're like, it's next weekend.
Week. And it's the last major of the year.
Yeah.
Then the golfing year has to start again.
Yeah, well,
honestly.
Good Lord, where's it all gone? It has gone quick, hasn't it?
So I'm going to be going up to Royal Liverpool on Sunday. I'm doing some commentary on an event that's taking place there on Sunday.
Yep.
And then from Monday, it's live at the Open. So you can tune in all week via the Open's platforms, and it's also the world feed. So if you see me popping up on Sky Sports,
I was about to say, yeah.
I apologise.
Yeah.
Is there a version of? Is there going to be one of those broadcasts where people can like comment below, or like is it going to be on a YouTube or on the Open app or something?
I think it's streaming through YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, last year was very exciting. It was very interesting because me and Di Stewart, we opened up the broadcast from the Open to pretty much every sporting channel because it was the world feed. So we opened up Sky, we opened up everything.
Wow,
That's mental, that.
And we didn't know about this until literally a minute before we were going on.
they're like, oh, by the way, Mr. Finch, there's going to be like 4.6 million people watching.
Yeah. Strap yourselves in. You've done this before, right? No. Oh, great.
Do you want me to review some irons?
Yeah. Let me talk about someone's swing, please. Come on, let me do something.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But yeah.
Must be such a surreal experience.
Yeah,
going from the YouTube world, where of course you are very good in front of the camera, but we have the option if we want to while you're doing something to be like, oh, can we just give that another go? Can we I think we can get this better. You don't get that opportunity when you're live on TV.
No, it's
no retakes.
You got to be a one-take wonder. This week I'm going to be doing very much exercise, meditation, getting myself prepped and ready. I'm going for it this year. I'm going to be presenter Pete.
Wow.
And presenter Pete is a very different Pete.
You reckon?
Yeah. Well, for a start, he refers to himself in the third person.
He calls himself presenter Pete.
Which I absolutely hate, generally.
But it's okay for 1 week of the year.
Yeah. Oh, people refer to themselves in third person.
Yeah, that's not.
So we are, going to be up there. I mean, this week, the guys have got so many videos to edit because during the Open, we're going to be doing a live podcast from there. We're recording a live podcast and editing, releasing it. But pretty much that week, the lads are going to have a chill out. So there's going to be a lot of editing to be done this week. And what have we got? We got
we got fairways.
Bill My Bag fairway video.
We've got Golfbidder irons.
Yeah, and then the announcement video.
And the cycle announcement video. Which is going to be cool.
Which is going to include a lot of information that you may have previously not been aware of. So stay tuned for that. The Bill My Bag fairway one is that is a very interesting, controversial video.
Where a brand said, "Don't say something," and we said something.
There's a big elephant in the room, big expensive elephant. So it's literally in here,
which is to your left.
There it is. Oh my God, you took the head cover off.
That was me. I had a play with it earlier.
There you go. That's peak Kieran there. Takes it out, head cover off, smashes it back in the bag, big dint in the top of it.
The only other thing that is guaranteed with Kieran is, yes, he will lose his phone. And second, if he walks past a golf bag, he's taken out a 3-wood.
100%. Having a look at it.
If you ever want to track Kieran at a golf course, just look at all the discarded clubs that are just scattered around.
Kieran's been here.
Yeah. phone here. Cool there.
That video is very cool. The Golfbidder irons video is also very cool, where we're explaining a little bit of what people should be looking for when they're looking for irons, which is very nice of Golfbidder to send us some lovely sets.
Yeah, I like those videos, to be fair.
Yeah,
it's something slightly different. It's also more like an information-based, if you're going to get new irons, this is what you should look for. Are these the irons that you're currently using? Do you need to change? I like stuff like that.
Could you benefit from, and the answer is always yes, could you benefit from a little bit more forgiveness? And these are the options in that department. Yeah, exactly.
And that video is for everyone. It's from the low handicap all the way up to the beginners as well, which is correct. Which is really, really good.
So I'm actually quite excited to see how that does. Especially the videos last week seem to have been ticking along quite nice.
Yeah, you edited both of those, mate, didn't you? These two coming out this week?
What? I didn't do fairways.
You didn't do fairways?
Jacob did fairways.
Jacob did fairways.
I did the Golfbidder irons video. I did the grips video that just came out, which was lovely. A really fun edit.
Right.
That was super fun.
Yeah, very different style. If you've not checked out any of these videos, please do.
Yeah, they're around somewhere.
I definitely got a lot of talk that grips video. Like loads of people in the comments just saying about their sort of experience, and kind of I had that experience as well, where like my wrist is also bad, but I've never really thought of it. Like never, and now I've seen that video and I think, should I maybe try and go a bit bigger, or I don't know.
I think like Pete made so many
good points
in that video that if you're well done. Congratulations, you You did a very good job. Yeah, you did your research and you presented the facts well.
Ticking them bullet points off.
Yeah, things that you don't necessarily, because you get given a golf club, and it has a standard grip on it when you first start playing golf. You're like, oh, this is it.
100%.
You don't think to yourself, oh, wait, could the equipment that I'm using be having a detrimental effect on, my health and my swing? Because that's just what you're presented to begin with.
I mean, a good way of describing it is that not a lot of people actually think of a grip as a piece of equipment.
Right.
And a lot of people will get a golf club, and we do it obviously all the time, where we'll have a look at driver, oh, this is cool, all the rest of it. But actually, the only point of contact you have with that is through the grip.
Yeah.
And
it's all the way down there.
Oh, I remember when I used to work in the pro shop, and like people brought their clubs in to get re-gripped. There were some horror shows in there, and just like grips that literally hadn't been changed in 20 years. And people were, it was getting to the point where a lot of people were, I think I need some new irons. I just don't have control of these anymore.
Oh, that's because they keep slipping out of your hand,
and
Terry.
And it's like you get it, and you're like, the irons are obviously a little bit older, but like the grips are literally slippier than ice.
How often should you have your grips replaced?
If you play regularly, like probably once a year.
Right. Okay. So it's like a deep clean of the clubs and a fresh grip. And
I mean, that's the thing. You can, like, if you get re-gripped on New Year's Day, by the middle of the year, you can give them a good scrub. That'll get back a little bit of tackiness if you clean them.
Yeah.
But if you regularly play, probably once every 12, 18 months. If you don't play super regular, then it's probably not the end of the world.
They start to get really shiny, don't they? I remember they get really shiny.
They just lose the tack. But one of the very best things is when you stick new grips on that first round with them, you just notice the difference so much.
100%.
Yeah. But it is a bit boring. That's the only problem with grips.
It's not flashy, is it?
No.
It's not exciting. It's not, it's again, it's covered up when you're playing the sport. Do you know what I mean? You can't necessarily see it.
It sounds wild, but when I was working in a shop, I would say it was an easier sell to sell a new driver than it was to get re-grips. It's like, here
it's not flashy and exciting, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here is the Stealth 6. It's got a diamond face. Look how amazing this one is.
And it'll still break.
And it's like, and then Terry's like, oh, yeah, we'll get that. I said, Terry, we could actually just re-grip this club.
And it'll do great.
Yeah. But
the one that you already hit straight? Yeah. Should we stick with that and just stick a new grip on it?
But it was always the same as far as like, we can stick this new grip on it. All right, how much is it? Oh, I get a multi-combat. It's going to be like £11.
Yeah.
It's like,
a bit tight that.
So I need to get all my clubs re-gripped. So I mean, it's going to be under 30, 40 quid. I'm not sure about that.
Do you know what it's like? It's like
I'm not really sure about.
It's like doing online shopping and then being like, price of posters and packages is a bit too high.
Yeah,
it's like I'm spending 300 quid on shoes and trainers and whatever, and be like, poster package is $5.99.
It's just
a bit steep, that, isn't it?
I think it's just not seen as it's not seen as an essential.
Yeah,
no.
Like it's just not seen as something which will improve performance and actually needs to be looked into, because it just is a bit boring. Like there's only so much you can talk about. This grip has a new rubber compound.
Yeah.
And people are not going to get excited about that.
Yeah.
But it is a very good video. I really like that video. I was happy with it.
Yeah, it was good. I think it was probably obviously very well watched. I would say, however, in the world of professional golf, there has been a bit of a change this week, because the most watched, the most talked about event was not on the DP World Tour. It was not on the PGA Tour.
Nope.
It wasn't even a major in the women's game at Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
Literally the most talked about and the most engaged event this week was LIV Golf at the Centurion Club just north of London. Now, this really, I think, marks a bit of a change, because this is the first time where I would say that general interest in an event was more weighted towards what LIV were doing at the Centurion Club than everything else.
Yeah.
Several factors in this.
Okay.
Obviously, we're UK based, so we would see a bit more of it. There were several influencers kind of there sharing stuff, so it was kind of hitting the feeds a little bit more.
Okay.
There was a weak field in the Denmark event, DP World Tour, a weak field at the John Deere. Weak.
Relatively speaking.
Very much quotation marks.
Yeah.
So the best, strongest field as far as like players' past performances was at LIV as well. And it was interesting to see, because I don't know what it is this year. I don't know if the decision about this like merger that we still really don't know what's happening with the PGA Tour and the PIF, what is happening, but the amount of criticism, the amount of negativity towards these live events, it seems to have dropped off.
Yeah, it seems to have gone down a lot
this year.
Yeah.
Do you think it was kind of a case of, because it was new and different and weird, people didn't like it? And then, it's a bit of kind of maybe like, is xenophobia the right word for something that you don't like because it's different and you don't understand it maybe?
No, I mean, I think the criticisms and everything else they were valid. Like, we're talking about nation's public investment fund trying to use sport to help with its image.
Yeah.
That's kind of what is happening. And
that was the thing that people didn't like about it.
And how rash it came in and just how like boisterous it was by like throwing money left, right and centre. Like, they just used money to wade, to get them to the front. You know what I mean?
But I think with what's been happening, certainly in other sports as well, like the investment which has been going into every sport. Like there's not a single sport which isn't being influenced with this money now. And I think they're trying to make moves to move into tennis a little bit more now as well.
Tennis and football, like football's big as well.
Yeah.
F1, that was all happening this weekend as well.
Obviously, you got several like football players kind of moving to the Saudi league now as well.
Like massive players.
Yeah. So this isn't going anywhere, and I think there's almost a level of acceptance about it, which is always going to happen because there is this period, this just cooling off period where it's okay, this is what's happened, this is what we didn't like about it, all that's out, and now people are kind of calming down and actually thinking, well, what is this that's actually happening? Which is, probably the whole part of the strategy, really.
Yeah. Do you think the excitement this weekend was kind of, amplified by the fact that Cam Smith was right up the top and we're coming into the Open where he's defending champion? Like, do you think that kind of had a major factor in it? Because previously, people like Brooks and I don't know, did Harold Varner win an event, or
Taylor Gooch.
Taylor Gooch. So
people
have been winning them, which is great for them, and obviously great for their brand that they've got big names up winning the tournaments. Do you think it was made more exciting by the fact that it was Cam Smith who is coming into an Open defence this year?
Yeah,
it's same as anything. It's player power.
Yeah.
Like, if you see Cam Smith is a golfer I'd love to watch, if he's up near the top of the leaderboard challenging for an event, and again, we could talk about, everything's already been spoke about, LIV. We could talk about everything about surrounding it. At the end of the day, a lot of people just want to watch sport. They just want to watch golf. They don't care about anything else.
Yeah.
They just want to watch the sport. They want to be entertained. And if a golfer like Cam Smith, who's a very fan favourite, is up there, they'll watch it. He wins. Enjoy it. Cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. People will be watching that thinking, okay, that was cool. And what you said this morning to me, Kieran, as well, it kind of, I won't say it surprised me, but I was like, it kind of twigged something when you said, oh, yeah, Cam Smith won. And then you said, oh, the 4 aces won the team event.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I didn't think about it. You did say that, didn't you?
I did say that, yeah.
And I was like, oh. It didn't
that actually might be the first time that someone said something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like,
in our office anyway.
Yeah, I was like, so there's obviously some kind of interest there in the team event.
Yeah, but for me, like, I don't know if it's because of the people that I follow. Like, I saw so much of it over my Instagram over the last couple of days, and looking at yours as well. Like, there was, who did we have there? You had Carter, you had Liv. I saw like Liv and
Liv Cook was there.
Liv Cook and Sophie Stone were doing a lot, like almost like presenting for it, which was quite cool. Like Seb playing the pro-am with Matthew Wolf. Like, there was a lot of
Bullard was there.
Yeah,
Rick was there.
Yeah, mate, like, honestly, there was like so many people there that were just like, covering the event. That's how I saw it. So, it made me excited. It made me keep up to date with it, and I saw like a lot of the shots and also like the trophy presentations through people's stories. So like, that's how I found out about it. I didn't really sit down and watch any of it. I saw a bit on Twitter and that, but I didn't see the Patrick Reed thing that you said. I wish I
took someone's head off.
Yeah, no, I kind of wish I saw that.
It was the kind of clip I saw. Again, we'll get into this second. Like, but he was like in the rough on the left hand side of a hole. Went to hacking out with an iron. Club face twisted over. This ball shot out like directly left at head height, and it literally, this marshal was within 6 inches of getting it right in the forehead.
Wow.
It was moving quick as well. It would have been, like, it'd have been out cold and might have been a little bit more serious as well.
I almost hit you when we played the castle course.
Oh, yeah.
Was it similar to that?
I still get flashbacks.
Was it similar to that?
It was moving quicker than that.
Right, okay. Well, I don't hit it very hard, so it makes sense.
It was risky.
Do you reckon it was just the rough that just held the club up for him?
He wasn't like aiming at him.
Yeah.
Whack.
He was out of shot, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he wasn't anywhere near like where the ball would have gone. It was just like an unexpected thing.
That's crazy.
So it was, but that was, I would say, one of the only that was the first clip I saw of golf this week from the professional game.
100%.
Right.
Yep.
And then I was like, oh right, so it's obviously going on. And then, like you said, a lot of people we know were down there doing social stuff. So it was kind of, you had just a greater understanding of what was going on in that event compared to any of the others.
Yeah, literally.
So it's interesting. It's this whole thing about the world of professional golf, both on the men's and the women's side, that we just don't really know where it's going to go. We don't know how it's going to play out. And to be honest, now I don't know how to feel about it. Like, there seem to be like very clear dividing lines. Only a month ago, about kind of what was, what you kind of thought about every tour, and now everything's coming together. Everything seems to be dying down. I just don't know what to. I don't know what to think. I don't know how to kind of translate what's going on in the world of professional golf and understand it, how it's going to look moving forward. Yeah, it's just so confusing.
We have no idea, but like, I think there are parts of each tour that everyone, well, obviously we don't know how the merging is going to happen, but I think there could be parts of each tour that they can take going forward. Do you know what I mean? Like, I saw a lot of this event where there was like almost like there was a stage. There was blimmin' DJ Snake playing.
Oh, I love that.
I know, and
love a bit of DJ Slizzy Snake.
Like these like big name sort of DJs and stuff like that made it like a really cool event.
Did they have Ellie Goulding? Did they have Ellie Goulding?
No.
Actually, that might have been at the... Was that at the DP Tour event?
In Denmark? I'm not sure.
They might have had.
I think
I saw that on Instagram somewhere. Ellie Goulding was playing at some sort of event.
Getting these sort of like festival events while a golf tournament's going on, I actually really like that. I really like the idea of it. So like, just things that we can, what they can do to sort of merge it all together and make it a really cool event week in, week out.
Do you know what else we haven't considered is also that the TGL thing is going to kick off next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's going to be another avenue for golf that is going to be very slightly different to what we're used to with the PGA Tour and the DP World Tour. LIV Golf came in, and it's kind of, the team, they're trying to push the team thing, which I've liked from the beginning. I like the idea of a kind of team aspect to the golf, and then TGL is going to come in. It's going to be mostly simulator golf, which is much more accessible for some people to, and definitely to watch, because you don't have to, you can get the live feed of the simulator, which is going to be great, and lots of big names have signed up to go and do it. So we're going to get that kind of competing element to the golf world as well next year. So it's going to be it's going to be absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it is. There's just so much more kind of on the horizon. There's so much more happening. I think one of the issues is really kind of this week. There's so much golf going on. It's like, how do you pick which one that you're going to watch?
The week that's just gone, like that. Yeah. So you had the major and obviously LIV and all that. So you've got all this coverage that you only have 2 sets of eyes, isn't it? So
and then there's
one set of eyes. Sorry.
And then there's like hundreds of different golf YouTube videos all dropping in the same week. Good went and played Pebble Beach Major. I mean, Matt had a great video out. Carter's got great stuff coming out. You played your video with Rick came out, like all of that stuff. Like how do I decide what to flaming watch?
It's just very saturated, isn't it?
So much going on.
It is weird. I'm interested to see like how the next 12 months is going to play out, because the amount of consumable golf content is getting more and more and more. Like there's gonna be some fall off. Like there's gonna be. I've said for a while now, my huge worry would be DP World Tour, European Tour. That's the main concern for me, because that is the one that just seems to keep getting pushed back. It seems to be growing less in popularity and in visibility. Like something has to change there. That's kind of the main concern. I think like obviously we're more plugged into the social media, YouTube, golf world, and from my point of view, that's really exciting because there's just so many creators now, and there's so many people doing really cool things. Like the amount of stuff to watch and consume is great, you know, and for people who are interested in that, who want to get their golf fix through YouTube, it's a brilliant time to be here because with the PJ Tour, DP World, and everything else as well, you know, they are all behind a paywall still. You've got to. You got to have Sky, or you've got to have you got to have something. You got to pay for it, and obviously YouTube is free at the point of actually watching it. So it's going to be an exciting time in that. I think with the US Open, the Women's US Open at Pebble, like that was interesting because obviously it's a very famous course, and it had some good players in there. From our point of view, I started to get a little bit more interested when Charlie Hull kind of fired in a 600 and kind of rocketed up to second, which is great. But yeah, to be honest, I hardly watched any of it.
No, I didn't. Yeah,
I think the kind of main event of it was, well, for me, was Michelle Wee's kind of last putt of her career. She's like, you know what, I've done everything, so I'm out of here. And she just looked so relaxed. She looked so chill and looked like she kind of. It was a nice way to sign off, wasn't it? Like just draining the 30-footer on the final green. It's just so cool.
No, again, it's I think like what do you tune in to watch?
Very tough, very tough.
Because everything as well, like from a sporting point of view, you had the Ashes as well.
You know,
obviously
Formula One,
yeah, just so much.
It was a good week for like English sport. F1, Silverstone, Ashes, and then
the Ashes. The Ashes is about to come to Manchester, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah.
So if anyone can
next week.
If anyone can get 4 tickets to the Ashes and send them to the Rough Cut office,
we're not going to be here.
We'll be at the Open, mate. I know.
You know that other event that's going on.
Sorry.
Literally.
Honestly, it's absolutely wild.
You got to choose between the Open and the Ashes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll just have to go to the Open.
Yeah.
It's quite.
You need like split screens next week.
You literally need split screens
because you need the Ashes on, because that's obviously a massive one for England. Obviously, if they win, that makes it 2-2.
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got the bloody the Open.
Rosa and T Fleets.
Fleets.
What's going on this week? Because we've got the Scottish Open this week.
Scottish Open,
which I think will be a well-watched European Tour event.
Yes, 100%. The field there is mental.
Yeah, so it's up at Renaissance. You know, played it quite a few times. It's to be honest, I think I played it in
only a couple of weeks, wasn't it?
Month ago.
Was the stands up?
The stands were
up.
Yeah. So played it about a month ago, and I must be honest, it was the best condition that I've seen it in.
Okay,
because it's a links course, but over the last few years it's been played there, the Scottish Open. It's absolutely smashed it down, and it's just greened it up. It's not played like a links; it's played like a Parkland by the sea.
Yeah,
and it's
looking.
It was looking very crispy when I played there. So hopefully the rain we've had over the last few kind of days hasn't completely kind of drenched.
Is it a hard course?
The way I played it was.
I made it look hard, but if it wasn't,
it was very hard.
That's where your driver broke. Right.
Yeah, second one.
The second one.
I now have another Stealth 2 Plus.
Just to kind of like put to bed the questions that we're seeing in the comments on the main channel. Yes, Pete has had some issues with the Stealth 2 Plus, and in the meantime we still had videos to record while we didn't have one. So there have been some videos where you gamed whilst testing the PXG driver, which you really liked. And then there's been a couple of videos where you ended up taking out the Paradigm just because we had finished testing on PXG and you needed something to hit.
And like the normal Stealth 2 as well.
You've played normal Stealth. So do not panic. We've had a lot of questions about, is Pete testing? Is Pete getting rid of the Stealth 2? No, he's not, because it's still very long and he still likes it. But we're just waiting for one to come that doesn't break.
I think there's just a lag. So the way that we've filmed videos this year, we've managed to get, I think, 6, 7 in the bank now.
Yeah.
And some of these that we've recorded literally a few months ago. So there's like a lag in the video. So I think we're going to finally catch up and have that full completed bag video coming out in a few weeks, and that will be like the completed set.
Yeah. So those other drivers don't actually have a look in.
Yeah,
they're just being used on that day.
They had a look in.
Yeah.
I had a little like whisper in my ear, but no,
I can't be tempted away from my marriage to the Stealth 2 Plus.
What were you using for the Royal Liverpool? I think it was the PXG, wasn't it?
I don't even know if I got it out, did I? Did I even hit it that round? No.
Hold on. You hit it off the deck on the 18th.
Oh yeah. Well,
it was a stealth.
It was a stealth.
It was a
Okay.
stealth.
Yeah. I remember that social clip.
Yeah.
Very
That was
good.
good. That was good.
So you've got what is it? Scottish Open. So Renaissance. Then we've got most of the best PGA Tour players coming across. I think Scotty's playing as well.
Scotty, and then defending champion Xander. So Xander will be there. And
then everyone from that is heading down to Royal Liverpool. So it's going to be an action-packed few weeks. But yeah, I hope it stays dry up there. I hope it's crispy. I hope the wind blows. Because it's a completely different course.
Doesn't Tyrrell Hatton always play very well at the Scottish Open? Hatton and Fleetwood and Lowry always seem to have like a little bit of a pre-open. I'm particularly last year. I remember that them three kind of went a little bit nuts at the Scottish Open and then built up that hype a little.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I think
like
with
Hatton played really well.
I think with like the Open, Hatton does seem to do, and the Dunhill Links like kind of same thing. He does tend to play well on links courses, which is quite surprised because like when I've played with him, when I've seen him play, he hits a very high ball.
Right. Okay.
So he obviously, he's a great player. He can adapt to any conditions. But like if you'd have said, name your stereotypical links player, it probably wouldn't be him.
Right.
Like compared to like Shane or someone like that, or Tommy, who you're thinking might just drill a links course to death.
Please do.
Please
do, because I will get it tatted real quick.
We do have, so we played Royal Liverpool again like a month ago, and we do have
in the dark.
Then we do have a preview video of the Open of Royal Liverpool coming next week. I think that's on Tuesday.
And is that going to be main channel?
That's going to be main channel. So it's going to be a podcast episode, but on the main channel. But it's a very different podcast episode because it's a full-on preview with videos of the course, like drone footage, everything that you need to know about Royal Liverpool. That is going to be coming. So I'm quite excited about that. It's a very different type of podcast that we've not done before.
We've not done one of those kind of roundups for any of the previous, but I imagine we could do one for... it's much easier to do this because you could go there and film drone footage.
Yeah, exactly.
Very difficult for us to do a LA Country Club or an Augusta or whatever.
Augusta's the big one there, mate.
Well, that's the thing. Like we're saying, obviously Augusta's a bit different, but like there's nothing to stop us if we make a good job of this to go to USPJ and say, listen, this is kind of what we want to do around the major. This is what we've done for the Open. Here's what I want to do for you. Is this possible? Can we do it?
I guess so. Yeah.
Because.
No harm in asking.
Well, as we mentioned, like literally this episode about like LIV getting a lot more attention because of the amount of people that were there, kind of all the influencers, everything on social media. Every single event is going to be looking for more exposure, and if we can figure out a way to, give that, we can get some great content for us. And then also, make sure
100%. Like LIV must be looking at this week and just thinking like how many like eyeballs that they got. Like, why they're not doing it for every single event that they do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why aren't they getting, big people out there and covering this stuff? Because, people follow them, people watch all their stuff and consume it. Like, why aren't they doing it more?
It was probably just a marker, like what is possible if you get all the right people there and you kind of perfect storm of social and people playing in a pro-am and...
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time that I saw like the behind the scenes of the range. Like the range is chaos because everyone goes out at the same time. Like you've just got 50, how many is there? 54 people just like swinging a golf club. Like it's wild.
Yeah. Shotgun start a charity event.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's mental. So that was really cool to see. But
looking forward to the Open, and the Open preview video is going to be very cool because the footage that I've seen some of the drone footage.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff.
Looks good, right?
It was good. Yeah, it was good stuff. It was a little bit annoying that we couldn't get all the way around, but it was so dark like, by the end of it. And dark. It was cold.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
I mean, that video with Eric should be coming quite soon.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, because Eric.
So he'll be lining up for this week or next.
That's going to be a wild video. That.
Jeez, honestly, we're struggling so much. I've never seen anything like that before. So we played with Eric Anders Lang at Royal Liverpool, and he was. I can only describe it as he was attacked by hay fever.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Like the pollen got him
Yeah.
Real bad.
and
Yeah.
it got him good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never seen anyone react like that to hay fever.
Like a scene from B movie.
I was properly worried about his health.
Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly,
His
like
eyes were going, like he was sneezing. and it was,
I hope
wow.
I hope we've managed to get some footage. It's a bit grim, but I always managed to get some footage. There was a point where he was sneezing, and the sun was setting behind him.
And you could see the.
Honestly,
Oh,
it was an explosion.
that is grim.
I thought someone had sniped him in the head from 50 yards away. 'Cause
Wow.
his entire head just exploded.
Yeah.
There's the spray pan. Honestly,
Yeah. What's Dexter would have had a field day with that.
Oh, if we manage to get that on camera and play it back, I would not be surprised if there's a rainbow as the sun goes through all those
Amazing.
particles.
Oh, poor guy.
Honestly, it was
Poor
rough.
guy.
He did very well to manage to
Good
get all
lad.
the way around.
Love it.
It was absolutely insane.
yeah,
Wonderful.
That was good.
Because we don't have a guest to play this week because one of the 4 ball is missing. We do have questions from you guys. I see Kieran has written them down here. Not written down.
Yeah, you've done.
Ask them.
You've
though.
done that wonderful thing where you put the questions and then you don't give the people who ask these great questions their props
So-
and their moment in the sun.
Right,
So
sorry.
I'm really sorry if you've asked one of these questions, but but Kieran does not care about you.
I'm not doing that out of. That's just.
So what we'll do, here we go.
Honestly,
Kieran, don't panic about it now. What we'll do
Sure.
is, as we ask the question, we'll put the handle
we'll
up
put
so
a
that
handle up,
yeah.
so you can see who it was.
But people listening on the podcast won't be able to see that handle.
Oh, well, that's
so-
Kieran's fault, and he
Yeah.
should make a formal apology.
I
So,
am sorry. I'm not doing it out of.
Honestly, Kieran does this every morning.
No.
He comes in and he says, "Right, what are these jokers going to listen to today?"
Yeah.
Oh God.
Who can we disappoint today?
I was really
yeah,
happy
yeah.
with the organisation of it. I just didn't. I'm sorry. That's my fault. I
Yeah,
forgot
it is
about
your
that.
fault.
He
It
gets
is your
in,
fault.
opens up his laptop. He's like, "Right, whose questions can I steal today and
Yeah.
pass off as my own?" Honestly, it's actually quite worrying.
It actually makes me a bit sick. to be
So-
fair.
I take back all the positive things I said about Kieran. before. Honestly, he's just terrible.
Although that is going to be clipped and put on his Instagram, by the way.
probably. Yeah.
You're not going to be able to find them.
No. I will. You answer the first question.
Okay, so here's the first question. It's a question to Peter.
And this is from someone called Question One.
It's a great handle.
It's a great handle.
Don't
that,
change it.
At question 1.
Okay, Peter Finch. If you had to caddy for Jacob, Kieran, and Mick, I mean, maybe not all at the same time because that would be an absolute nightmare. Whose score would you improve the most and why?
Kieran,
You could improve Kieran's score.
it's not even close.
Really?
It's not even close.
What would you do? Give him more club each time, tell him to hit it less.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, Kieran is definitely the easiest to do because Kieran is the wildest golfer out of everybody. And he just tries to hit everything at 6 million miles an hour.
Yeah.
And he will, on the front 9, lose 4 or 5 balls. And
Right.
then just rely on being fully warmed up and shooting a good score on the back 9.
Would you
Back nine player.
do anything? Yeah, typical. Would you do anything to fix his wild alignment?
No, we've already
We've already discussed.
yeah
it.
we've already touched on this. To get Kieran to be a more consistent golfer would need a lot of work on his kind of swing dynamics, and we've also discussed the fact that he can't be asked doing that. So it would be a case of managing the swing that he has, and
Yeah.
that's all about caddying.
Yeah.
That's all about course management. So.
So you would just help him kind of become a little more consistent and maybe not be so wild on the front.
Yeah.
What about Jacob?
I mean, Jacob's ticking along all right. Like, he had his best score ever the other day. So
Yeah.
the lessons that we're having with him are working. He's a little bit more methodical anyway. Like, he kind of thinks things through probably a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then I think with you, we just need to get you warmed up a little bit better, get you in the right frame of mind.
It does take me a few deep breaths
Yeah,
to
exactly.
get myself in the right headspace.
So yeah, definitely Kieran. It's not even close.
Yeah. Okay. So
So that question. I found,
here we go.
I found them. Yeah. So that question was from Jeff Jones at GG's cool. How are you saying that?
Thank you, Jeff. It's
Thank you, Jeff.
Jones.
Thank you, Jeff Jones.
yeah,
You know what?
change your handle, but thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. We
Anna,
respect
change
and
it.
Absolutely love the fact that you listen to our podcast. We respect you wildly, apart from Kieran.
I've got
He
the-
didn't want to say your name, but we made him do it.
I've got the next one as well. And this one is actually coming from our Fred Threads, sorry, account. now.
Threads.
No way!
Threads.
Our
Yes.
Threads account,
Thrice.
not from Fred Lindblom.
Threads account. And
shout
if you're
out
not,
Fred.
Yeah, if you're not following our Threads account, then please make sure that make sure that you do. So this is from Jason Strikeson. Any plans to do a Finch versus Shiels versus Fryer versus Carter match soon?
Old school.
Old school.
Old course
Course
vlog.
vlog.
Hold the cameras yourself type
Old school
vlog.
OG vlog. Yeah, I mean we've got a much better chance of doing that now because Carter's back in the country.
Yep.
He's living back in the UK now rather than Dubai.
Dubai.
Dubai. So there's a much better chance of that happening. Again, it's the same with anything. It's like getting us all together in the same place at the same time is just so difficult.
Yeah,
Four calendars of very busy people who, you know.
It's so difficult because like this week, I was really looking forward to having a full week in the office, smashing through everything, getting everything ready for next week, preparing for the Open, and already within half an hour of walking in the door, I've got to travel to Scotland again.
Yeah, well, that's going to be the last question to end the podcast.
Yeah, so let's not skip ahead.
Right, next one is from. That was a very good question from Jason there.
So yes, it will be happening. That's it.
Yeah, and this one is from another one from the Threads. VW Hiker. What is the golf course you really wanted to play, but was disappointed after playing it?
Oh, that's a good quizzy.
It's a great question. That.
What course were you really excited to play, but then disappointed after playing it? Damn, that's intense.
Yeah, it is intense.
In my mind, these are the factors that play into this. It can't be at least in my brain, it can't be like a historic Old Tom Morris or an open venue or something because
Why not?
You'd never be disappointed by playing one of those.
He might want to say the old course.
Yeah. Well, just
if you say that, I'll walk out.
just because you don't want me to say anything negative about Old Tom Morris.
Yeah, don't say anything negative about Old Tom Morris. Thank you.
That is a great question. It is a toughy one. I think. So I will say first of all, and this is a very two-layered kind of answer.
Okay.
I would actually say the old course, but
you don't want me to quit on the spot.
But there is a reason.
I'm a
for that.
very good editor.
So obviously, when the first time I played the old course, never played there before, and I was absolutely buzzing, as you imagine, so exciting, and hit a great first tee shot, loved it, and then all of a sudden I was playing 17, 18, and I was like, I can't remember.
The rest of the hole,
because the course is so flat, and because like all the undulations, and it's been there for a million years, the artistry and the gem which is the old course, you only really appreciate it once you've played it a few times. The first time you play it, honestly, you're so jacked up, you're so excited, you remember the first few holes. Then you relax a little bit, you take in the scenery, and then all of a sudden it's the 17th, you've got to hit that tee shot, then the 18th to walk into the town.
Yeah.
It all just happens so fast.
Right.
And you don't remember like hardly any of the holes. But then once you play it again a few times, you understand like what a great course it is.
Right.
So I would say that as one.
So the first time you played it, but were you disappointed at the end? Or were you just like, what caused you to have that kind of fog in the middle? Was it just that you're in this like euphoric state of greatness, or is it like you literally?
It was also because I was filming myself as well.
So you're not focusing really.
Focusing.
Yeah. So I would say that, but obviously that's a very two-layered answer, and the fact that anytime you can play the old course is incredible. It's just an amazing place. But if there's one that I was really excited to play, but then really disappointed afterwards, damn.
I was thinking there was one in like America that I couldn't remember what it was. That you played a course and you said it wasn't, but I didn't get you going. But I couldn't remember what it was. I remember you saying it once.
Didn't get me going.
Yeah,
just didn't get me going.
just didn't get him going.
Just didn't get me going. You know what I mean? Just didn't get me going.
It also really depends on how well you play.
Oh yeah,
that's the other thing I was going to say. Is that
this course is awful. I've just got 85.
Listen, 85.
Worst course I've ever played.
Pete shot 85. Yeah, we have this conversation really, really regularly about like, does the quality of your golf affect how much you enjoy the golf course? And of course it bloody does.
Yeah, the quality of the golf affects it, but I always think the greens. So if you play an amazing golf course, but the greens are dodge and like the bumpy and they're just not very good, you're going to leave that course with a bad impression, because if you play a really dodgy course, like the layout's not great, but the greens are unreal, you'll literally leave and say, "Oh, I'll tell you what, the greens are amazing."
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
okay.
That's true.
It's a redeeming factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of like, if you're a occasional golfer and if you're like, not really into like course architecture and stuff like that, the greens are a very easy thing to understand if they're good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does the ball go where I hit it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like at the Castle course in St Andrews. Like, we had a lot of people. We told a lot of people that we were playing the Castle course, and they didn't say anything about the beautiful scenery, the scenery that you see. All they said was the greens are just wild.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah,
Actually, thinking about it now, like,
no one said, "Oh, the approach into
mate, the front
18
nine
was
especially
lovely,"
was beautiful.
It was, really.
And like, I
nice.
didn't, because no one said it. Like, no one said it was going to be that beautiful. That, like, I was more focused on like how wild the greens were going to be. Like, it's really weird. It's really, really weird to think about.
I think if we kind of get,
What if you flip it? What if you flip it? Right? Has there been a course that you were like, "Oh God," and then it would like really pleasantly surprised you?
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
Oh man, this is so difficult.
We should have done your.
Yeah,
we should have told you.
You know, one that you've been like forced, like not forced, but like, you're like, "Oh, I'm playing in this thing that the other day you played in a charity event, right? You go around a course like that and you're like, oh, bloody hell, it's actually really nice."
That was your old course, wasn't it?
No, my dad's course.
Oh,
Your dad's course.
I don't get on well with that course. So
Apparently it didn't go particularly well on the front
no,
nine.
it wasn't. It wasn't ideal.
But yeah, have you ever been like pleasantly surprised by one that you thought was going to be a bit ropey?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Literally all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and I will say this: there are other kind of patches of land like this around the world. I know this, and I always go on about it. But Scotland, you go to the coast, anywhere you go, and you'll get on to like just a course which like nobody really talks about, nobody really plays, and it'd just be incredible.
Yeah.
Like these little links courses that are dotted around all over Scotland are just incredible. Like the one that springs out straight away to me is Southern S, which is kind of in Dumfries. It's a part of Scotland that realistically, if you're going to go play golf, Dumfries and Galloway isn't like going to be top of your list.
Not on the top of your list.
But there's so many cool little courses down there, and Southern S was amazing. It was so tough. It was so like supreme. It was just a brilliant links course. Like you go up around St Andrews, you go out St Andrews, you've got like 11 links. You've got places like this Crail.
I've just about to say that.
Yeah, it was when you were describing the courses just outside of St Andrews that maybe don't get the kind of props that they deserve. Crail kind of jumped straight to my mind.
I'd never heard of Crail before. I think and it was awesome.
I mean, to be fair, like the Castle course, the original question, like really excited to play, but then disappointed. Like the Castle course probably fits that quite well, because the first time I played it, I really didn't enjoy it, but I was shattered.
Yeah.
I was like physically and emotionally spent from like 3 weeks of travel, and that was like the final round of golf, and I just walked in after 9 because like the greens were so wild and it was so windy. Like I was hitting the ball obviously terrible because I was so tired. It was just flying everywhere, and I was getting over a putt, and like this is a golf. I'm better than this.
But then you played it again, and
then I played it again. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Okay,
So
good. Okay, well that's good.
It is very situational, but yeah, around those courses that continually surprise, honestly, just Scotland, the coast of Ireland. I know is the same as well. Need to do a bit more there, but.
Yeah, I'll definitely be up for a trip to Ireland if you want to go and film things in Ireland. I'll volunteer for that trip.
You can have your first Guinness.
Yes, I will have my first Guinness.
Right, now this brings us on to our final question.
Now, that says something rather exciting on that screen.
It does, and I've got the person that has asked the question. It's Gareth Rees.
Okay. Yep.
What's up, Gareth?
Any chance of a good collab?
Well, everybody, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure that you do now. And
hold on one second. No, hold on.
Media platforms.
You can't not answer the question.
Have I answered it by not answering? This is the question. Was that poignant silence an answer?
I don't think it can. Are you
I would say that the signs are positive.
Okay.
We have yet to get fully confirmed, but I believe that we may be doing something.
Okay. Well, that's all I wanted.
I'm gonna, I'm just gonna hedge my bets a little bit. These messages are in the very early stages.
Oh, so there have been some messages.
Yeah. Very early stages, but could be a very good course.
Have the messages said anything about when it's happening?
Might be happening potentially this week.
You heard it here first.
But listen, everybody just calm down. Just let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? I have lived a life of constant disappointment, so I am not.
No, you haven't.
I am not going to get out over my skis and get my hopes up, okay?
But I will tell the viewers and listeners this. Pete said this morning that he was going to go and practice this week.
Yeah.
So
I need to.
Read into that what you will.
I need to. I mean, I played in a charity day this weekend and I was so bad. I was awful.
The Itabori Irons just let you down.
No, I mean, me and my family went out on Friday night and went out for a meal. And we'd not had a meal together in a long time.
Couple of Swift ones?
Quite a few Swift ones. So we got a little bit carried away. So on that front nine, like even my dad, us being Northerners, we can handle our beer, all right.
Yeah, a couple of bitters.
But even my dad on the second tee was like, I'm feeling a bit dizzy.
I can imagine how he said it as well.
Your dad's so cool.
And I was like, right, okay. So got through that, I parred that one. Next tee shot, I've topped my 3-wood. I'm like,
I know how that feels.
I'm like, whoa. And then I've sliced this hybrid over the back of the green. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Chipped it to about 2 foot and then missed it. I was like, I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah.
Next tee shot. Literally, if it was anything less than a 90-yard slice, I'd be surprised. It was so far right that it missed basically every cow in the field on the right and went, oh yeah, literally. Honestly, it was.
It waved at them on the way past.
It was Nigel Farage out there. It was
staying in
so far right. And then
don't bring politics into it. This is a politics-free podcast.
I don't know how many times I've cut that joke out of course vlogs in the last 2 weeks.
I want to get it in.
It's good.
I want to get it in. Too far right and then too far left.
Yeah, bloody lovely.
Oh, is it a Starling?
I don't know. I can't remember.
And then it was so bad. So this week I need to have a bit of a grind. I need to have a bit of a practice. I need to understand. I've still no idea how far my irons go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have a gapping session.
I've literally no idea how far they go. Not a clue. I hit my 8 iron about 7 different distances on Saturday. And nothing felt different.
Not good.
I really need to figure that out.
So you would imagine that it is a playing. It's going to involve playing.
It's going to involve playing. I think it's going to involve 18 holes. It's going to involve a very tough course. So I need to get grinding.
So you go and practice. Go. And we will see everyone at the Open.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that.
We're going to be we're literally going to be around all week. I'm going to be working all week pretty much on the range. Lads are going to be at the FootJoy campsite and then around the venue as well.
Yeah,
we're going to do a few meetups.
Yeah.
But if you do see me there, come say hello. Be great to have a distraction from me bricking myself on live TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite fun to watch you whilst we have a semi-week off. Work very hard. And
I haven't got a week off. I've got out of the podcast.
Yeah, you've got
to do all the social stuff.
You've got to work quite hard. Me and Jacob will be chilling. So if you wanna get involved in a meetup, you want to come and see us and watch us record a podcast and generally make fools of ourselves, get into the Discord. The Discord link, we will triple check that it works this week. And get into the Discord. We will do an announcement or 2 in there about where we're going to be and when, and come and distract Pete with us. Come and walk the course with Fleetwood if you can get in. Whatever we're doing, we'll let you know about it, and you can come do it with us.
Cool, awesome. No, love it. And guys, thank you obviously so much for listening or watching, depending on where you are consuming this content. And we'll see you next week.
Much
love.
Very exciting.
The Open week.
Let's do it. Can't wait.